regarding the definition, the characteristics, the differentiation between the local and the general anesthetic, and we have seen the few structural elucidation part of the local anesthetic compounds, where I have told partially points of the amanthocaine, which is also known as tetracaine, which is used for numbness of eyes, that means in the operation of cataract, nose, throat, and eyes, especially for ENT specialists, use this as a local anesthetic, whereas cocaine it is the natural and local anesthetic formed. Apart from that, if we talk about the amide linkages, we have lignocaine, which is also known as lidocaine, which is used to treat the and ventricular tachycardia, right? Anti-arrhythmic, it is the anti-arrhythmic agent which restore the rapid beat to the normal heartbeat. Okay, apart from this, bupivacaine and its isomer, that is levobupivacaine, we will see in the upcoming slides. If I talk about the ropivacaine, its S-enantiomer is very potent and act as a local anesthetic. This ropivacaine has the similarity with the bupivacaine in terms of like onset of action, duration of action. Okay. Apart from that, the it has the ropivacaine has the low solubility, rather we can say it is having low lipid solubility. It has high pK value, that means it is less acidic. So we can here also come to the conclusion that it is having the amide linkage, because amide is less acidic, right? And it is less acidic, that means it should have the greater pK. We know that the pK has the inverse ratio with the acidity, that means it has the higher pK, that's why it is low acidic one. Apart from that, it blocks the peripheral nerve, and it is majorly used for the obstetric options, right? If I talk about the prilocaine, the prilocaine is also widely used as a local anesthetic because it is having low cardiac toxicity. Apart from that, the another local agents, rather local anesthetic agent which I have mentioned here, has few of the adverse effect as compared to prilocaine. But prilocaine, it has the short onset of action, no doubt, but apart from that, the merit is that it has low cardiac toxicity, and it is used as the gentle analgesic through the IV route of administration. And if we compare or if we combine prilocaine with the lidocaine or lignocaine, we will treat this combination to treat various major to minor diseases. Okay, if we combine prilocaine with lignocaine or lidocaine. So we have seen the partial aspects of classification based on the route of administration, which is majorly subdivided into injectables, topical preparations, and one class is there where it is having the mixed class, miscellaneous. In the injectables, we are having the categories which tells us about the low potency, duration, and apart from that, we are covering here the aspects like its solubility. Okay, in case of injectables, you will find the low potent and short duration of action. Okay, in that the most prominent examples are procaine and its substituent, that is chloroprocaine. The chlorine group is attached to the intermediate chain of the procaine. Okay, the subsequent category tells us moderately potent. Okay, here the lidocaine and prilocaine is used. So in the earlier slide I have told you that the prilocaine in combination with lidocaine is used to treat various major to minor surgeries. Okay, here the moderately potent, because it is the moderately potent, it too has the low cardiac toxicity, because here the combination of lidocaine is done with the prilocaine, right? The third category is the high potency and long duration. Here this local anesthetic is usually given to that patient whose post-operative operations have been carried out for long period. To those patients it is majorly used. The anesthetic agent which falls under the category is bupivacaine, dibucaine, and etidocaine. Right. Then the second major classification is based on the topical preparation. Route of administration is topical one, and under which we are categorizing that local anesthetic into soluble and insoluble. So in case of soluble, we are having the cocaine, which is natural local anesthetic agent. Apart from that, lidocaine, tetracaine, which is also known as amidocaine, vinozinate. In insoluble category, we are having benzocaine, oxythiazine, and butyl amino benzoate. In the miscellaneous category, we are having clove oil, which is to the natural from the natural source it had been derived, phenol, chloropromazine, and diphenhydramine. The pharmacology of all these drugs are very essential. So few of the drugs I have took, which is majorly used by the surgeons. Sorry. So in further slide, I will try to cover that point. So next classification which I felt it is required, so I have quoted it on the another slide, in the another slide, which is based on the chemistry of compounds. So based on the entire chemistry, the structural elucidation of the local anesthetic, they are classified under the esters of benzoic acid, esters of para-amino-benzoic acid, that is PABA, amides, quinolines, and natural local anesthetics. So in the structural elucidation part, I have told depending upon the type of intermediate chain, whether it is having the ester linkage or amide linkage, they are categorized into, right, esters and amide. Apart from that two categories, we are having the esters of benzoic acid, esters of PABA, amides, quinolines, and natural local anesthetics. So in the esters of benzoic acid, we have seen the aromatic ring. To that aromatic ring, we are supposed to attach a carboxylic group. So it will form a esters of benzoic acid, right? And intermediate chain will be of ester. So in that format, you may learn or keep in mind the structures of following local anesthetic agents. So it is butacaine, cocaine, benzocaine, hexylcaine, piperocaine, and tetracaine. So in the esters of PABA, that is para-amino benzoic acid, here the amino group along with carboxylic group is present over the aromatic ring of the local anesthetic part, and the intermediate chain is of ester linkage, right? So here the chloroprene, procaine, propoxycaine are the examples which fall under this category. Apart from that, the intermediate link which is of amide linkage, the examples for the same is atricane, bupivacaine, dibocaine, etidocaine, lidocaine, and mipivacaine and prilocaine. Right, in the quinoline structure, you know very well the quinoline structure, and the very most single example is widely used under the category called quinoline is the Saint-Buessry, right? In the natural local anesthetic, we are having the saxitoxin and teredotoxin. Okay, these are the classification based on the route of administration and the chemistry of the compound. So let's move to the main beat of the seminar, that is pharmacology of the drugs, where I have quoted just few, that is 5 drugs which I felt it is very vital, so under which I am trying to explain you about its pharmacokinetics, that is ADME, apart from that pharmacodynamic in very short form, and its adverse events and uses, right? First is the procaine, which is most prominently used local anesthetic. Okay, it is absorbed when it is administered. If you see the route of administration of procaine, it is through injectables. That means it is through IV or IM, right? So if you take that procaine in through the IV or IM route, so it will bypasses the first pass metabolism, right? So it is directly absorbed through the ileum of entron, ileum of the large intestine, right? And its distribution is on the restricted parts of the area. It is not acting all over the body, right? In the initial, the differentiation point, I have told you that the local anesthetic acts only on the restricted parts of the body. Okay, the metabolism of the protein is done in the liver, no doubt. And here, the if we see the cascade, how it is metabolized, it initially hydrolyzed through the esterase enzyme to the PABA, that is para-amino benzoic acid. Right? It undergo phase 1 metabolism where it hydroxylation process take place, where the hydrolysis of protein is done by use of enzyme what? Esterase to PABA, which is para-amino benzoic acid, and its excretion is done through the tubular excretion, that means renal one. Apart from its half life, which is 7.7 minutes, right? If we talk about the pharma,
Sorry
yes
to
sir.
interrupt you. Make a slideshow.
Sure sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I am hoping it is visible, right? Yeah, anyone can reply, please.
Yes, visible. Yes, it is visible.
My slides are visible.
Yes, Malika. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we were talking about the pharmacodynamic of procaine, which usually falls under the category of local anesthetic. So here in case of pharmacodynamic, we are supposed to write its few points of mechanism, and apart from that, the effect of procaine on the main organs like liver, CNS, kidneys, right? So here I have quoted just few points which tells us the pharmacodynamic of procaine. Apart from that, the effects of procaine on all other vital organs are not so potent one. It is having adverse effect, but in a minor scale. So its pharmacodynamic is along with the blockage of sodium channel, it block the NMDA and serotonin and NM receptors. So let me tell you here, the local anesthetic has action by blocking the sodium channel receptors, right? The sodium channel is one through which it transmit the impulses of sensation. So here the every local anesthetic, whichever you take for the study purpose, it has the common mechanism of action that it blocks the sodium channel. But apart from that, the procaine has its effect, that to blocking effect on the NMDA receptor. So here the NMDA is N-methyl D-aspartate receptors, serotonin receptors, and nicotine muscular receptors, right? Its adverse effects are depression of neuron leading to convulsions. So convulsions is one of the most adverse events occurring in the patients of which are under the influence of every local anesthetic. Convulsion is most common adverse event you will find out in every local anesthetic agent, right? It is also used for the dental analgesic purpose, right? It is minor surgery, so it is used for that. So subsequent is the lidocaine, which is absorbed. So if you see it's right route of administration, the lidocaine, what is the route of administration of lidocaine? It is through injectable. It is taken through IV and IM. So it is absorbed through the mucous membrane, alveoli if it is taken through the right aerosols. If it is taken through the aerosols, it will get absorbed through the alveoli. And apart from that, if it taken through the IV or IM, it is absorbed through the mucous membrane and GI tract, right? Its distribution in the form of you know a form of strength wise, it is 0.7 to 1.5 liter per kg. It metabolism is first pass, right? that is first phase, not first pass. Let me correct here. It is first phase. It is to undergo hydroxylation, and it forms its metabolite, which is excreted through renally. That is in the urine format. So its half life is 1.5 to 2 hours. So if we talk about the pharmacodynamic of lidocaine, it decreases the chronotropy, ionotropy, and ultimately it relaxes the skeletal muscles too. And here too, the lidocaine is having the potency to block the sodium channel. But apart from that, the lidocaine has effects on the heart, that it decreases the rate of contraction and the velocity at which the blood is going to pump by the ventricles, that is ionotropy. And apart from that, it has the action on skeletal muscle, which is dilation, that is relaxation of skeletal muscle. So if you see the adverse events, the tremors in the muscles and convulsions, and it is used when the IM is given. So if the doctor is supposed to give you a injection through your muscular root, so he will apply initially a spirit. So it is applied to kill the germs. But if it is if the injection which is going to be IM to you, if it is having the more quantity, rather it has the blood clotting activity. So before application or administration of those IM injections, the application of lidocaine is done, and apart from that, in the gentle analgesic, it is also having the application. So third one is the bupivacaine, which is the amide linkage. It is absorbed through the systemic absorption. The distribution part of bupivacaine and cocaine was finded varying in few websites, so I have not quoted there. If you find valid one distribution, you may write, but I haven't found it valid, so I have not quoted there, right? The bupivacaine is metabolized through the phase 2, that is conjugation, methylation and acetylation. Any one of the sub metabolism pathway it follows, and it get excreted through renally, and its half life is 2 to 8 hours, right? And its pharmacodynamics says that there is the decrement in the vascular resistance, depression in the CNS, and peripheral vasodilation. So here in few slides, I have told the local anesthetic acts on the peripheral nervous system, and there it will block the sodium channel, and ultimately there will be what? Vasodilation. Right? So here the peripheral vasodilation is taking place, depression in the CNS by blocking what? NMDA, serotonin receptors, and decrement in the vascular resistance, that is decrement in the chronotropy and ionotropy. So apart from that, the adverse events of bupivacaine is the cardiac arrest and the difficulty for the tricuspid and bicuspid valves, right? The uses of bupivacaine is surgery like hip arthroplasty. So apart from the hip arthroplasty, it is the example which were present. So apart from that, it is also used for the during the organ transplantation, right? Joint displacement. At that operations too, the bupivacaine has its application. So fourth one is the cocaine, which is the natural local anesthetic. It is absorbed through the GI tract, mucosal membrane, and it is metabolized through the phase 1 reaction, that is hydroxylation, and the metabolite which formed from the cocaine is norcocaine, which is excreted through renally, and its half-life is 1 hour, right? If you see the pharmacodynamics, it has the vasoconstrictive effects. Okay, here it has the vasoconstrictive effects, binds to sodium channel reversibly and block the action of impulse propagation. If you see the adverse events, the renal stress is going to happen. Okay, if we take the cocaine in very high amount, you will find the renal stress and hyperthmia. Apart from that, it is also used as a psychostimulant. So fifth one is the chlorpromazine, which is the substituent of promazine, the chloro group, to the intermediate ring, which is absorbed through the GI tract. Its distribution is 20 liter per kg, and it is metabolized through phase 1 reaction, that is hydroxylation, excreted through the renal. So if you find the local anesthetics are usually excreted in the form of renal one, that is from urine format. It is not excreted from the bile format, right? If you see the half-life of chloropromazine, it is 30 hours, which is very high. Okay, pharmacodynamic, it decreases the BP, it blocks the dopamine serotonin receptors, leading to the antipsychotic properties. If you feel, you may also quote this in the adverse events, right? It is the it has the blocking action on the dopamine as well as serotonin. That means it decreases the psyche, or we can say the alertness of the CNS. The convulsions are common in the adverse event. Apart from that, the intestinal blockage occur. Thus, it used to treat the schizophrenia, anti-emetic agent. Okay. So I'm hoping it is been clear to all. Can we move forward, or any questions you might have? Yeah. So can we move forward? Okay. So after that, we find the mechanism of action of lidocaine. So let's focus here that we are administrating the local anesthetic agent, right? And when it is administered through injectables, topical, or IM, it will reach to the systemic circulation, where it has the affinity to bind to the sodium channel, right? Once it binds to the sodium channel, it deactivates the sodium channel, or it ultimately blocks the sodium channel. And once the sodium channel is blocked, there is no flow of sodium from the channel, and thus it will ultimately lead to no depolarization occurring on the neurolema or neuronal membrane. So let me clear you on this point, that is depolarization. So depolarization part occurs when there is the influx of sodium ion. When there is the influx, that is entry of the sodium ion through the axonal membrane, there will be the depolarization action. That means there is the impulse transmission. But here we are administrating the local anesthetic, which ultimately block the sodium channel. That means no influx or absorption of sodium through the neuronal membrane, and its concentration is decreasing in the axonal exoplasma, and due to which there is no depolarization. Rather, we can say here the repolarization mechanism is going to occur, because there is no absorption of sodium, and thus there is no depolarization, or occurring of repolarization is taking place. There will be no propagation of nerve impulse. As there is no propagation of nerve impulse, there is the loss of sensation. That means the person will not feel any type of pain over the restricted part where the local anesthetic is applied. Okay, it had been clear to all. It is very simple mechanism, and it is drawn and it is reflected in very simple format. Right, but just you have to keep in mind that depolarization, it is the influx of the sodium, and the local anesthetic is blocking that influx of sodium, due to which there is no impulse transmission, there is no threshold potential, that means no propagation of impulse, and ultimately it results in the loss of sensation. Right? It is common mechanism of action for every local anesthetic. Let's see the mechanism of action by taking the example of cocaine. Right, here you will see it is the axonal membrane to which the sodium channels are inbuilt. Here we are administrating the cocaine, which has the blocking effect of the sodium receptor. You will see the cocaine, once it is administered, it is having the affinity to the sodium channel. It enters to the sodium channel, and it blocks the sodium ion influx through this sodium receptor, and ultimately it will result in no depolarization, no impulse transmission, and no, or ultimately result that there is loss of sensation, right? So we have seen the mechanism of action in general, mechanism of action of cocaine by taking it as an example. Apart from that, there are various theories which are strengthening the statement that how the action of local anesthetic occur to the sodium channel. Right? The foremost theory is the acetylcholine theory, which says the theory highlights that the acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter involved in the nerve transmission in the PNS. Very well known about this statement that the acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter occurring in the parasympathetic nervous system, and it is useful to carry out the impulse propagation. Now here the theory is trying to say us that the acetylcholine which is involved in the parasympathetic nervous system has the effect on the local anesthetic. Okay, let's see what subsequent points tells us. As the local anesthetic acts on PNS, right, there is the pretensions that the acetylcholine binding to local anesthetic may influence the elictions of loss of sensation. There is experimentation cascade going on for the valid statement. So this theory is giving you partial idea about that the acetylcholine, if it is having the action with the local anesthetic agent, it will have the election of the loss of sensation. It has the effect of loss of sensation, but yet the valid statement is not been discovered. So there is the experiment going on this theory. Second theory is the calcium displacement theory, which tells us that the local anesthetic. So whether my voice is clearly audible to all?
Mallika, enable that noise suppression. Have you enabled it? Student 225. Okay.
Sorry, sir, I have enabled that, but yet the effect have been not seen.
Okay, okay. So is it showing in a green
So-
color?
No, I have done off for the same.
No, no, on it. Make it at on
Okay,
high.
we have to on that.
Yes, yes.
So sorry for the intense interruption. So we were about the just a minute. Okay, slides. So we have to right. So you got me the point that we have discussed the acetylcholine theory, or there was much interruption of the voice. Yeah, anyone can reply so that we will proceed forward. Yes, anyone can reply. Well, so subsequent theory was reflecting us about the calcium displacement theory. So one major point I have missed to tell you about the mechanism of action. So before binding, right, the local anesthetic once, yes, Yes, Rajesh.
When AC.
Okay, so here nothing part is left with the acetylcholine theory, that it is simply tells us that the acetylcholine, it is the neurotransmitter involved in the parasympathetic nervous system, right? And the local anesthetic which we are administrating, it has the effect on parasympathetic nervous system. So there is the pretension that if we consume the local anesthetic, it acts on the parasympathetic nervous system where the acetylcholine neurotransmitter is present. So the acetylcholine neurotransmitter has some of the effect on the local anesthetic, which eventually lead to the increment in the loss of sensation. This theory tries to tell this point, but yet there is the experimentation going on this theory to have the valid statement. Okay, if we see about the calcium displacement theory, the local anesthetic has more affinity towards the sodium channel. It blocks the channel, followed by the decrement in the depolarization on the nerve membrane. Similarly, on the other hand, the influx of calcium ion helps the local anesthetic to have a potent action by causing the blockage of sodium channel. So here one point which I have missed to tell in case of mechanism of action. Once the local anesthetic we have administered, it has the affinity towards the sodium channel and ultimately it binds to it. So when it binds to it and it ultimately block to it, on the other hand, simultaneously there will be the influx of calcium ions. So two major activities are carrying out. One is the blockage of the sodium channel, and subsequently there is the influx of abundant calcium ions through the axonal membrane. This both action has the negative effect on the transmission of nerve impulse and which will lead to the loss of sensation. This theory tries to explain that point only. When there is the calcium displacement occur from the outer axonal membrane to inner one, there will be the elixir in the loss of sensation because it has the negative effect on the sodium flow through the sodium channel. Okay. The third theory is the surface charge theory, which says based on the fact that it means the local anesthetic agent blocked the depolarization step 1, thus it been predicted that the surface charge on the cell membrane play vital role in the action of local anesthesia. Here the surface charge, you will find that the sodium has the positive while potassium has the negative charge. So we have seen that when there is the efflux of sodium, the negative concentration inside the axonal membrane will be high, right? So that negative and positive concentration on both the side of the axonal membrane has its vital or crucial effect on the action of local anesthetic. The first statement tries to explain this, owes this explanation, and the second bit tells that, but yet the final validation has not been out for the fact that how the uncharged local anesthetic causes the nerve blockage over the surface charge on the neuronal membrane. Right? So first point is trying to explain that the charges, like that is efflux of sodium causes negative concentration inside the axonal membrane and positive concentration outside the axonal membrane. So these charges have the role for the action of local anesthetic agent. But the second point says that, but yet there is no final statement which proves that cascade. Because there are the hurdles to prove that statement, the hurdles like there is no any of the proof that uncharged local anesthetic, once it is administered, how it block the nerve over the surface charge on neuronal membrane. Right? We have told that it has somewhat action on local anesthetic, but yet there is no any linkage, no any cascade yet out which tells us that, just a minute.
Here you can simply consider a cascade means like a triggering. It triggers the action of a particular compound or of a specific that compound. Means here it triggering the action of a local anesthetic drug. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so cascade means the mechanismal step, that is first step 1, step 2, step 3, right? So surface charge theory was telling us that even though the local anesthetic has no charge over it, but yet how it causes the nerve blockage over the surface charge on the neuronal membrane. Okay. Fourth theory was trying to explain non-specific membrane expansion theory. Okay. The local anesthetic is hydrophobic, that is lipophilic in nature, so it enters to the nerve terminal. It changes the configuration of membrane by altering the space for sodium ions. This causes the repolarization of nerve. This thus usually gives gross idea on the fact that how the unionized form of local anesthetic agent block the conductive effect or the conductance of the impulse. So surface charge theory fails to explain that how the local anesthetic agent blocks the nerve blockage. So the non-specific membrane expansion theory have been successful to give more light on that statement by saying that once we administer the local anesthetic, due to its lipophilicity, it enters to the nerve terminal, and once it enters to the nerve terminal, it changes the configuration of membrane. How it changes? By altering the space for sodium ions. This alteration of space for sodium ions occur by blockage of sodium channel. Right, once the sodium influx is not been taking place, it result in the repolarization of nerve, that means loss of sensation, right? So this above three statement gives us gross idea on the fact that how the unionized, that means the uncharged form of local anesthetic agent block the conductance of impulse. So in case of physicochemical properties of drug, we have seen that for effective action, for effective absorption, the drug should be always in an unionized format. So here two the same concept have been related. So last theory is the specific receptor theory. So name indicates that specific receptor theory. So the slide, since the 10 slide have been arrived, I was trying to say you that local anesthetic has the affinity to only sodium, not only but major affinity towards the sodium receptors. So here to the logic says the hydrophilic charged amino terminal part bind to the specific receptor of sodium channel, and thus the response take place. So here in the structural elucidation of the local anesthetic, I have mentioned that the quaternary amino group is present. So N-terminal region is potent to bind with the neurotransmitter, with the receptor. So here the hydrophilic charged amino terminal part. We have also mentioned the aromatic ring is lipophilic and the quaternary amino group is hydrophilic, right? So here the hydrophilic amino terminal, that is N-terminal, bind to the specific receptor of sodium channel, and the response will carried out. That means the blockage of sodium channel, no influx of sodium, depolarization of nerve, no threshold potential there will be, so no propagation of nerve, and ultimately it result into loss of sensation. Right. So in the last two slides, we will see few of the pharmacological effects on the local anesthetic. Initially on the vascular smooth muscles. Why only vascular smooth muscles? So The local anesthetic has its effects on peripheral nervous system, under which the somatic and autonomic nervous system comes. So it has action on that much system. So first says that principle of mechanism of action of local anesthetic once completed. That means blocking of sodium, then depolarization, then loss of sensation. That cascade, once it is completed, or the mechanical step once it is completed, the vasodilation occur where to the smooth muscles as well as on the skeletal muscles. Vasodilation, that means relaxation occur. This vasodilation has few consequences on the body organs like myocardial depression, hypotension, decrement in the pacemaker action. On the heart, it has few consequences in the myocardial depression, hypotension, decrement in the pacemaker action. That means decrease in the chronotropy as well as decrease in the ionotropy occur, which will lead to myocardial depression, hypotension and decrement in the pacemaker action. That means the impulse generated by the SA node is not much potent, that is received by the AV node, and further the transmission is not that much potent, and that much blood output is not occurring. That means decrease in the BP, that means hypotension. So second pharmacological effect on the CNS is that even though the local anesthetic has its effects on PNS, it has few consequences, rather we can say few macro actions on the CNS also. What are they? Let's see. Biphasic response is seen. That means on the CNS partially and majorly on PNS. So it is biphasic response is seen in case of local anesthetic. When the local anesthetic is administered, it has excitation followed by the depression. Right? In the excitatory phase, the blockade of inhibitory neuron occur. The effect can range in between the mild hyperactivity to the convulsions. The subsequent phase of depression is followed by cardiovascular collapse or paralysis. So on the CNS, it blocks the dopamine, serotonin, apart from them NMDA, that is N-methyl D-aspartate receptors. That means it have few depressive actions on the CNS, which is categorized under the mild hyperactivity to the convulsions. So we have seen in the bupivacaine that it is also used to treat what? Schizophrenia. No, not bupivacaine, it is another drug. Yes, chlorpromazine, right? The chlorpromazine is the local anesthetic which is used to treat the schizophrenia. So here it act on the CNS, it releases the stress on the NMDA receptor, which will reduces the hyperactivity or convulsions, and it ultimately treats the schizophrenia. So here I have mentioned that the chlorpromazine, it is having the blockade to the just a minute. So here the low BP occur, blockage to the dopamine and serotonin receptor, leading to antipsychotic properties if it is taken in the major amount. If we take it in the major strength, it will lead to the reversible action, and once it is taken in the dose which is used for the treating minor surgeries, so it will have the psychotic action. That means it will release the stress over the dopamine and serotonin and NMDA receptors, right? So it is having the biphasic response. When the local anesthetic is administered, it has excitation followed by depression. The excitatory phase is occurred by blocking the inhibitory neuron, and the effect can range in between mild hyperactivity to the convulsions, and the subsequent depressive phase is followed by cardiovascular collapse or paralysis, right? So I hope it was beneficial, and thank you for the patient listening, and thank you sir for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, very good. As you have mentioned, all clear points. As you have said about the mechanism action in a very simple way, that one is a very good. just keep open your slides. Slide number 9 and 8 and 9. Just please open your slide number